There was I'm going to share a little thing that kind of formed my opinion about Syren. There was a few little occurrences, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to backpedal and explain to you because I think it's indicative of women in the shooting sports and how a caveman like myself can be, have his eyes open to what's going on around them. Both involve my wife, she's not really a shooter. She tolerates me in shooting. She used to come to all the shoots with me, the tournaments, but she's never really been passionate about shooting. But she does, two things happen. One is we were up at a game fair type event that she liked coming to, one of the events that she enjoyed coming up and hanging out. And they had the typical white tents all on the line, and of course we have ours, and I was I think it was that time, it was John Skinner and myself, and John Skinner, this a friendly, affable guy, and I like to think that I'm not an ogre either, but my wife was sitting in the back of the tent reading a book, just relaxing, and on 2 or 3 occasions in one day, women kind of walked around us, kind of slinked around back and went to the back of the tent and asked my wife, "Do you work here?" She said, "Yeah, I kind of do," and because I like to talk to you about shotguns. And she had mentioned this to me at the end of the day about this occurrence, and I thought about that single thought. Left me, it was a moment, a bit of an epiphany, about what kind of challenges women have to go through to try to participate in what is clearly for eons been a male-dominated activity, right? So that was one of the things that I thought about for a long time. The second thing that happened that was a moment like that where my light bulb came on was, again with my wife, our kids' school, the parent association was having a charity sporting clay event, which is pretty cool. But my wife came out, and a bunch of the other mothers that she's friends with kind of formed a squad, and they all shot, all kind of very new at it, almost completely new at it. They had such a great time, they all wanted to go out and do it some more. So what do? I go back, I take a gun. It was a 20 gauge sporting clay model of ours, and with a stock that I was going to cut down and fit to her. So I took one of our stocks and I measured her up and got the length of pull and the comb height where I thought it should be, and pitch, and then we did this and did that and had her fit it and fit it and fit it. And I got to the end where she's trying it again, and I looked at it, and I said, something, this is crap. I would never be satisfied having to shoot what I just made for you. It's not right. The epiphany was there's no way to get there from here. So my realization at that point was every single stock we make. So just back up 1 second. When I design stocks, and I do a lot of the stock sort of here, but I do a lot of the design stocks specifically for the American market. I'm trying to make a stock that almost everyone here can, at high probability, fit into, with at least some customization of the stock. So shorten it, lengthen it, or do whatever, put a recoil pad. But that's the objective, right? We do custom, but I'm talking about off the shelf. And there was no way that stock would fit your average woman shooter. And just difference in anatomy, difference in hand size, difference in length from the cheekbone to the shoulder, difference in stance, different other issues with the anatomy of a woman shooter. And so I realized immediately what we make is just, unless you do a full custom, what we make is almost prohibitive in selling to any female shooter. And I thought about those two things. And then, of course, I've known a lot of very competitive women shooters in sporting clays and in trap and skeet. But I'm seeing more of them, more women get involved with, 6 years ago, with hunting and the rest of it. And I said, well, I'm willing to try, and to Giorgio's credit, Tom's credit, I said, I'm willing. I think if you make not a product, not this is the woman's model, and we all know the jokes within the industry about the pink it and shrink it, or here's the youth model, sweetie, you can go shoot that. That's the kind of, that's the male chauvinist attitude that's killed us forever, right? Terrible. But what we needed to create is a brand with women participation, female management, female perspective, female communication. Men and women communicate differently. We all are probably familiar with that. We're very black and white, and women very gray in their communication. So we needed to create, the big endeavor that I undertook was creating not a product but a brand that that was something that would be all-encompassing for the female shooters. Give them every tool they need to go out and have the proper products, accessories, but also community, through our social media and through all of our pro staffers. We have, around 15 women pro staffers that are either in the competition end or in the hunting end or whatever, but that's the endeavor we set out to accomplish. And for us, it's been not only tremendously successful, but honestly, one of the most fulfilling things that I've done, because it's not about righting a wrong, but it's about, opening up pretty much the activity, or helping open up the activity for the other 50% of the population, and we even work in training the retail end, and because you can imagine the experience, come back with your husband, little lady, and we'll pick you out a gun, that kind of really crappy stuff that has happened. Or I can go to a gun range, show up at some small trap and skeet range, and and they treat me like dirt when they do the old curmudgeons on the sitting on the bench, right? Treat me like I'm a little dog poo on their shoe when I show up, right? And if anyone should be able to come in as a accomplished shooter and being with a shotgun, you would think it would be easy for me, and when they find out I'm their best friend all at once, but the attitude is terrible, and that's intimidating for somebody just walking in when people give you that kind of that localism kind of attitude that you get. But for a female shooting going by herself, it's got to be intimidating, and that attitude it might not necessarily be, they might be, the people there might end up being very helpful, but it's still, nonetheless, the perception of it is very intimidating in from what I understand. Okay, so that was the reasoning behind Syren. Today, we're growing every year. Today, it is it's a flourishing brand for us. For those of you not familiar, we produce product for Syren from both factories, because the approach I take in gun design and product management is that I'm trying to fix problems, or I'm trying to solve problems for shooters. Doug wants to be, a top-of-the-line international skeet shooter. I want to give him the optimum tool to do that. Women have a different set of challenges than men have in the type of products they use. Okay, one is getting one that fits them, but there's other issues. There's recoil versus weight, upper body strength, So by having such a large portfolio of product, we make almost everything in shotguns. It allows us to have more tools in the tool chest to solve those problems. So we can create lightweight semi-autos, so we can get the weight out of a gun while reducing recoil significantly, right? So if I make a super lightweight over and under, as we all know, felt recoil can be an issue. We have, all the different gauges we can make, every configuration, cosmetic options, are unlimited. So that's pretty much the concept behind Syren. What we're doing today, our product portfolio is still growing. I'm going to show you 2 products today that are both interesting new introductions. One of them more on the aesthetic side, one of them more on the technical side for target shooting. And we'll go through those in order. But that's Syren.